Call of Duty is a series that prides itself on being one of the most sold gaming series of all time. However, that doesn't mean that some games are better or worse than others. Some are awful while others are really good. For example, Black Ops Cold War is a good game, one of my favourite in fact. However, there are a few things wrong with it. Black Ops Cold War was developed by Treyarch and Raven Software and published by Activision. It was released worldwide on November 13th of 2020 for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S. It served as the 6th installment in the Black Ops series and the 17th installment in the overall Call of Duty series. The game is the second Call of Duty title since 2011's Modern Warfare 3 to be co-developed by two studios. Black Ops Cold War's campaign story is set during the early 1980s of the Cold War, taking place between Call of Duty Black Ops, which came out in 2010, and Black Ops 2, which came out in 2012 chronologically. The story is centered around a pursuit of the alleged Soviet spy Perseus, whose stated goal is to tilt the balance of power towards the Soviet Union. To do this, Perseus plans to frame the US for launching a devastating nuclear attack. However, the story does have, especially near the end, a real O. Henry twist.
Sir, every time Perseus has come into play, it shifted the balance of the Cold War. After 13 years of silence, if he's active, something big is gonna happen. Something that will affect the free world.
For the campaign, the player takes control of Bell, who is recruited by CIA officer Russell Adler into a multinational task force created to hunt down Perseus, created by then-President Ronald Reagan, who makes an appearance. The campaign also sees the return of Black Ops characters Alex Mason, Frank Woods, and Jason Hudson, with Mason also being the playable character in certain missions, some of which are places that you visited in Black Ops and you get to see the aftermath of your actions, such as the satellite installation in the mountains Yamantau, which was mostly destroyed by a massive avalanche. There is a good and a bad ending to Cold War's story and depends on the choices you make, and while I won't spoil what they are, the story is pretty good, albeit frustrating at times to follow. The bad ending also has to be unlocked, which is done by doing certain things in the safe house where the story missions are launched from. With this game, you also get to choose your name, although you are referred to as Bell throughout the game. You also get to choose your background and story, and also get to choose between a variety of perks, which include increased ammo, more health, etc. This in effect can help you out during the campaign, depending on your playstyle. Now, when I first played this video game a few days after release, it seemed to suffer from very severe lag during the cutscenes particularly. It was as if I was watching a movie on a DVD that had been scratched beyond repair, and the movie was skipping itself. The video and audio were also terribly out of sync, which made the cutscenes totally unwatchable. I have no idea what caused this, and when I re-downloaded it later and played through a second time, it didn't seem to have the same problems. It played absolutely fine. So I don't know if this happened because the game had just released and it was bugged, or if there was some other problem that was going on. Another really weird aspect to this game was, and I haven't seen this done before, was you had to download the campaign in 3 separate downloads, which I find very weird because every Call of Duty game came with the game pre-installed on the disc, not download the game, then an update, then download an extra 3 parts of the campaign. I've no idea why the developers decided to do this. It was just a really kind of odd thing I really haven't seen done in a video game before then, but I have seen it done afterwards, and I kind of don't understand why they went down that path. On a more lighter note though, a cool aspect that came as a complete surprise was a reference to Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which came out in 2007, that being the main villain from that game being Imram Zakhaev, who you meet in a later campaign mission, who was believed to have been killed by Captain Price during a sniper mission in Pripyat called All Gillied Up, arguably one of the best sniper missions in Call of Duty history.
If you've not met him already, this is Imran Zakhaev.
Thank you, Secretary Gorbachev. And thank you all for welcoming me with open arms. I can think of no greater tragedy than a home violated from the inside.
One nice addition is the dialogue options you are given and how you can interact with different people and get some backstory on them. Some decisions, however, will decide certain outcomes, so it's wise to pick the right option, otherwise you will miss valuable clues and other options.
No, лица. Когда вы прибыли? Ах да, разумеется. То ваш командир. Я не расслышал. Какое совпадение. Я как раз к нему на прием. Обязательно передам ему привет от вас.
It's assholes like that we gotta watch out for.
Cold War also has two side missions called Operation Red Circus and Operation Chaos, which first have to be unlocked by gathering clues throughout the campaign missions, which you will stumble upon by accident if you choose the right dialogue options during the first mission. Some of the clues require certain actions to be completed, such as in one mission you have to find some papers in an air vent, and in another mission you have to find a watch that is very easy to miss that is laying on a desk. If you miss any of them, you won't be able to complete the puzzle and unlock the mission. Which, in a way, it makes you want to explore the environment and make sure that you don't just rush through the mission and not look around for different things. Once all the clues are found, you then have two puzzles you must solve in order to progress. One entails working out a time, date and place that is then fed into a computer. The other is putting names and dates together to solve who the traitors are. There is also small decisions you can make during missions, as well as in one mission you get the choice of either killing the villain you were chasing after or saving him for MI6 agent Helen Park to take him alive. In another mission you are given the option of either helping an informant escape from his captors or kill him for being a traitor and a mole for the enemy. The choices you make matter a great deal because they will in turn determine the outcome of the story. Another one has you finding a key that unlocks a weapons cabinet that allows you to access a very powerful revolver that is a one-shot kill weapon and also gives references back to Call of Duty Black Ops. Some of the missions give you many options on how you want to go about completing your mission, such as during the one where you're in the Russian KGB headquarters, you are close to being discovered as the mole and you have to throw off your pursuers that are on your tail and allow the team to break into KGB headquarters. The awesome thing here is that there are various ways to do that. The one in which I chose, which is quite hilarious, is framing the general as being a spy. There are other options such as drugging the general and duplicating a security pass, or getting a prisoner incited enough to kill the general and steal said security pass. This option is funny because it's hilarious trying to watch the general trying to worm his way out of being a spy when there is clearly doctored evidence saying otherwise. Later on you get to see the general being led to the cells claiming it is you who is the traitor.
Milikov, have you dug up my mole? Cherkov, that's absurd. Where is your evidence? I have no idea how this got past me. Cherkov will be passing through here soon. When he does, we will apprehend him. General Cherkov.
That is Cherkov.
Just how long have you been spitting on Mother Russia?
Excuse me? Do you know who you're speaking to?
I do now. Your medals will no longer protect you. Please empty your pockets on the counter.
Colonel, have you lost your mind?
Now step over there and lift your arms to the side.
You're serious?
Fucking do it.
Is this your way of setting up my fall, Kashenko? I'm looking forward to hearing the response of the Central Committee.
Me too. Now go in that room without saying another fucking word. Anything else you need to tell me, you can do it in there.
Okay, now I need to head to the basement and let Adler's team in.
At one point in this particular mission, you get to use the computers of the 80s, which is an interesting, fun little minigame that stays true to its real-life counterpart and what computers back then were really like and operated. The other cool things about the Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War campaign that I quite enjoyed was the fact that there are actually arcade cabinets throughout the campaign that you can actually interact with, and you can actually save them so that you can play them later. There are some really cool ones going all the way back to Atari days, which is really cool, and there are so many of them, and it's kind of like a cool little feature that they've added into the game as well. All in all, this campaign is fun and a lot more open than most linear titles in this franchise. It also looks amazing, with the graphics looking amazing on next-gen consoles. However, the campaign is short, about 4 to 5 hours long depending on how you play, which is pretty standard for a Call of Duty title, but what it lacks in length, it makes up for in its gameplay, sound effects, animations, and story. If you enjoyed this review, please rate, comment, and subscribe to see more game reviews and content like this.